Fairy tales always end with happily ever after, right? But what if I told you that Shrek 5 is about to flip that ending on its big green head? Yeah, the ogre's coming back, and this time, fans believe it won't just be another swamp adventure, it could be the comeback of an entire franchise. You're watching Mr. Burma movies where chaos meets cinema, and villains might just steal your heart. Let's dive in. It's been over a decade since we last saw Shrek on the big screen. Back in 2010, Shrek Forever After wrapped things up with a surprisingly heartfelt goodbye, showing Shrek learning to appreciate his life with Fiona, Donkey, and the kids. Most people thought that was the end, the final curtain for one of the most beloved animated series ever. But now, with Shrek 5 officially announced for 2027, fans are buzzing with one big question. What story could possibly bring Shrek back after all these years? The first theory is simple. Shrek as a parent. His kids Fergus, Farkle, and Felicia are no longer babies. By 2027, audiences expect them to be full-blown characters with personalities of their own. Imagine Shrek and Fiona struggling with teenage ogres who don't want to stay in the swamp, who maybe dream of exploring the human world. That generational conflict could be both hilarious and emotional, giving us something fresh while still keeping the family theme at the core. Another big possibility is legacy. Shrek has always been about twisting fairy tales, turning princes into villains and ogres into heroes. What if Shrek 5 explores how the fairy tale kingdom has changed since Shrek first stormed into it? Maybe there's a new generation of storybook characters who don't even know who Shrek is. Or worse, maybe they see him as just another old legend who doesn't matter anymore. That could push Shrek into a whole new arc, proving to himself and to others that the world still needs him. Of course, you can't have Shrek without villains. Lord Farquaad in Part 1, Fairy Godmother in Part 2, Prince Charming in Part 3, every film gave us a new, larger-than-life antagonist. For Shrek 5, fans are expecting someone who can rival that energy. Some are hoping for a villain from folklore we haven't seen yet, like Rumpelstiltskin's allies, or even a darker twist on a beloved fairy tale character. Imagine a powerful sorcerer or a royal family plotting to wipe out ogres once and for all. With DreamWorks, no fairy tale is safe from parody. And let's not forget the comedy. Shrek without comedy just doesn't work. Donkey one-liners, Puss in Boots' dramatic flair, Fiona's surprising toughness, it's the chemistry that makes the movies timeless. Fans are expecting Shrek 5 to double down on that banter. Donkey dealing with his own kids, Puss still trying to look heroic even though he's probably too old for it, and Shrek struggling with dad jokes he doesn't realize are actually funny. The humor has to evolve with the characters, but it also has to keep that sharp, satirical edge that made Shrek different from other animated movies. Speaking of Puss in Boots, his spin-offs have kept the Shrek universe alive. The Last Wish in 2022 was a huge critical success, proving fans still love this world. And with that cliffhanger ending teasing Shrek's return, fans are expecting Puss to play a major role in Shrek 5, whether it's as comic relief, a mentor to Shrek's kids, or even leading his own subplot. Puss is too iconic to be sidelined. Expect him to steal at least a few scenes and maybe even get another hero moment as big as his Last Wish fight. But here's where the nostalgia really kicks in. Shrek isn't just a franchise, it's a cultural phenomenon. Somebody once told me, still quoted everywhere, Shrek memes dominate the internet 2 decades later. Fans don't just want a sequel, they want a love letter to everything that made the series unforgettable. That means callbacks, musical moments, and maybe even revisiting iconic locations like Duloc or Far, Far Away. Imagine a scene where Shrek walks back into Duloc only to see how much it's changed. That alone would have fans cheering. Now let's talk animation. The original Shrek films were groundbreaking for their time, but by today's standards, they look dated. Shrek 5 has the chance to completely reinvent the look of the series. Fans are expecting richer detail, bigger set pieces, and smoother animation, but still with that slightly goofy, exaggerated style that made Shrek charming in the first place. If DreamWorks blends modern animation tech with the classic Shrek vibe, the result could be jaw-dropping. Fan theories are running wild. Some say Shrek 5 could even be a crossover, uniting Shrek with other DreamWorks legends. Imagine Shrek meeting the bad guys or running into Kung Fu Panda's Po. It sounds insane, but in the age of cinematic universes, nothing feels impossible anymore. Others think the film could set up spin-offs for Shrek's kids, creating a whole new generation of fairy tale misfits to carry the torch. And then there's the emotional weight. Every Shrek film, no matter how goofy, had heart. The first was about self-acceptance. The second was about family and love. The third tackled responsibility. The fourth explored midlife crisis. So what's left? Fans think Shrek 5 might be about legacy, about what you leave behind when your story feels finished. That theme could tie together Shrek, Fiona, their kids, and all the returning characters in one powerful story. One thing fans are really hoping for is Fiona getting her spotlight back. In earlier films, she was more than just the princess, she was the warrior, the fighter, the one who could go toe-to-toe with Shrek. In Shrek 5, fans want her front and center again, not just as Shrek's wife or mom, but as a leader with her own arc. Imagine Fiona stepping up to protect her family when Shrek falters. That would make the story hit even harder. And of course, music is another thing fans are begging for. The Shrek franchise is legendary for its soundtracks. From All-Star to Holding Out for a Hero, every film gave us iconic needle drops. Shrek 5 has the chance to bring that magic back with a new lineup of bangers. Imagine a modern remix that kids dance to on TikTok while parents nod along in nostalgia. A killer soundtrack could make the sequel explode beyond theaters. Of course, DreamWorks loves a good twist ending. What if Shrek has to choose between protecting his swamp or letting his kids go live their own adventures? What if the villain actually wins for part of the movie, forcing Shrek to rally everyone one last time? Or what if the ending sets up something even bigger, like a full Shrek cinematic universe? Whatever happens, fans are expecting to laugh, cry, and walk out quoting Donkey one more time. So here's the big question for you. Do you want Shrek 5 to focus on Shrek's family or open the door to a whole new generation of fairy tale chaos? Drop your wildest theories in the comments, because who knows, DreamWorks might actually listen. If this breakdown made you laugh, made you nostalgic, or just made you shout, "Get out of my swamp" one more time, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and share this with your fellow Shrek fans. Until next time, keep your onions layered, your donkeys loud, and remember, in Shrek's world, even fairy tales need a little ogre-sized twist.